Can you hear me, Kathy? Can you hear me, Kathy? Great. Larry will be up in a minute.
Yeah, for some of it at least. Yeah, and I'll be in the city. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. I shall. Which day is the 4th? Is it Friday?
Fourth is Thursday.
Thursday. Oh, okay. That's
It didn't make sense for him to be here, go down on Thursday, come back on Friday. And then I think they're moving this weekend.
yeah. Okay, that's good. No, I'm definitely in the city then. Yeah.
Because I know they'll see Thursday's not there, they won't come.
I shall come. I'm very, besides even doing gigs doing class with you, like I said, I'm like so,
You kind of
like,
like,
love it together.
There she is.
Hey!
What's going on?
Not much, what's up? Happy end of June.
Yeah, you're back.
They can
I'm
hear it
back.
What's
everything.
up? Thank you.
Sarah, what's up?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
My little theme the other day was I'm in the bloom. Paint's on the walls and it's looking good.
Awesome.
We're moving in this weekend.
Oh, exciting. Congrats.
Yep, thanks. It's all happening.
Yeah.
This is my mat. Thanks.
Guess what, Lara? Years.
I know I seen their little text. I don't know. Not an end of the world to me, but dude, I don't think I looked up on Sunday till 8.
Well, we went out at like 5 and it was cold.
Yeah.
We were there for like an hour. I was like, I gotta go inside. In the morning?
No, in the afternoon. I was gonna say, I was wondering what are you doing? That's my brother. He takes the dog.
No, no. I take the dog early and at
But it's
7:30.
hot.
Oh, so you have.
Yeah.
No, it
Otherwise, the little paws get burnt.
Maurice mixing it up today.
She got here late.
Has to throw me all off here. Everyone's not in their position here. What's going on? We about ready?
I can't believe Gee's here at 8 a.m.
I made it happen because he's leaving.
He is. Yeah.
Very upset.
Yeah. Anything you want to do today? Postures, body parts, anything you want to mess with? Remember, this is 8 a.m., not 5 p.m. Have you been to one of our 8 a.m. classes? Yeah. Yeah? All right. I've been living like this, or like this, or like all kinds of shit. So like back bends, I'm ready for it. Like it's easy. That's one of my more challenging poses, back bends. But since my back's been an extension, you know, like it's a little easier now. What do you want to do? Anything else? Anywhere in particular you want to go? Outside, back of your hip? Yeah. TFL, glute, all in that. Okay.
That would be front body extension, right?
What? Back bend? Nah, spine's weird. So in your spine, this is flexion. This is extension. So back bend is extension, right? So
Even though it's shortening.
spine's a little weird. Yeah. When you think of like the muscle engagement, it'll make a little more sense. Like think of these muscles they're engaging to pull back the spine. And also think about like most of the things in our life, we have more flexion than extension on a lot of things, right? Spine's kind of, it's not really like the spine's like that. It's just that the spine wants to collapse like this, right? So we need to get the lift up this way. So we got to peel this and open this up a little bit. Anyone else?
Shoulders?
Okay. That'll kind of all go together.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a nice seat. Close the eyes. We'll kind of get right into it. Sit up nice and tall. You know, the other day we were talking a little bit about the bloom, you know, and I was doing my funny little theme of, you know, theming my yoga class to what my work at the house has been. And, you know, I just was saying I'm in the bloom stage now. And most of y'all know that practice with me regularly. I teach the root, right? That's where I teach. But the bloom, right? That's a special place. That's the end, right? That's the last part. That's the shine. That's the glow that you're gonna like radiate, right? And like, think about that in your postures today, because you can't get to bloom, right? Unless you work the root and you build the foundation, right? And you integrate and connect, and then you can express and express in a good way. But when you express, you want to express it all. You want to spread those fingers. You want to reach up with intention, or twist, or fold, or bend, whatever the extension that we're doing is. Because you did all the work to build up to that. And now, it's not that you really get to sit back and enjoy it because you're still working hard for it, but that's that final expression. So think about that in your practice today as you're moving through your poses. We always talk about those areas where we're setting the foundation, or we're working on those areas in the transition as we're going from one pose to another. Well, maybe today think about what's it like to reach up a little bit more. What's it like the expression would be softening your face. I always do that with y'all. Right? Are you enjoying that moment? Start here with your breath. From listening to yourself breathe, to slowing down the beginning of the inhale and pushing more on the end of the exhale, to counting out the breath. It'll be 2 or 3 seconds for your inhale. Make the exhale the same 2 or 3 seconds. Maybe find Ujjayi breath as the air begins to rebound off the back of the throat. Lean back a little bit. Feel the sit bones root. Feel the muscles running up your spine start to kick on. Spinal erectors, right? Lift us up. Let the head and the throat slide back. Feel the shoulders settle back just a little bit. Now, as you exhale, feel the belly draw in and hold that space. What's going to want to happen? Your chin's going to try to fall forward. Your upper back's going to round. Your shoulders are going to fall. You're trying to resist that. So you're sitting up tall. You're taking the throat back. You're feeling those muscles in the back of the neck start to work. Next inhale, let the arms lift. And let the exhale bring the thumbs, and then the pinkies, and the pointers, and the ring, and the middle fingers together. It's the petals of the lotus, closing. And one time together to initiate our practice. Together, the sound of Om. All together. Deep breath in. Beautiful. As we softly bow our head to our hearts, our heads to each other's hearts. Inhale, lift the head, open the eyes, release the hands. All right, let's spin around child's pose. So child's pose is going to be feet are touching, like your big toes are touching, and your knees are wide towards the edges of your mat. And then your arms are going to go up overhead. Your belly's going to go between your legs here. So that's why you take your knees wide, so there's a space. Now, push your hands down and forward and root those sit bones to the heels. Now, here in the morning, we tend to do a little more of an active child's pose. So when you're chilling in child's pose, your forehead is on the floor, and you're kind of like letting everything fall down a little bit. Here, we're going to energize it. We're using this more to extend the spine that little bit and just feel where we're at. So if you hug the hands in, and you start to lift the forearms up and you lift the inner biceps up. We do that in a lot of poses. So here, when we're not so weight-bearing, we're going to be able to feel what that action is. Now, slide your head and throat back like your forehead's off the mat. You're going to feel work happen between your shoulder blades north to south, so like from your head to your butt. Keep that. Now, as you keep sliding your throat towards the ceiling, soften your chest towards the mat a little bit, and you feel even more work happening up the spine. That's the area that we're trying to extend. That's the area that we're going to back bend into, that thoracic spine, especially right underneath the shoulder blades. And then inhale, come up, all fours, hands and knees. Hands an inch or two in front of your shoulders, knees an inch or two behind your hips. Now we're going to work the low back. So the common tendency is this. Belly wants to fall to the floor. So you're going to sweep your inner heels out. You're going to hug your shins in, so you're charging up your legs. You're going to claw the floor. You're going to hug the arms in. You're going to squeeze these biceps. So now we're solid up into the shoulders and the chest, up the legs into the hips. Pull the belly button to the spine. That's where I start to fill in this lumbar. Now, like this is too much. Just like this is not enough. Pull the shutters closed right here, bottom of your ribs. The shutters are open. We got to close the shutters. That's how you connect to the top of the ribs. Slide the head and the throat back. Bring your gaze right across your fingertips. And right now, your muscles should be starting to shake a little bit. This is low mountain. You're hugging every muscle in your body to bone. This is solid. If I tried to come up and move you, right, you're going nowhere. And then when you're ready, oscillating cat-cow. So you're going to inhale, take the hips up, back and around, and then you're going to go forward and under. You could look up as the hips go up and back. You could look under as they come forward. And let's do, this is already my third one, so we'll do 5 one way, and we'll do 5 the other. Now, if you're new to this pose, and it's a little confusing to get the head and the pelvis working together, just take the head out of it and work the hips. And then after your 5 the opposite way. Nice and slow here, staying with the breath. Taking that lumbar spine through its full range of motions here. Now this is my 5th, so I'm going to come to that neutral position, that low mountain. Take your time. When you get there, we'll all meet. And you can see I'm right back in it. If you look at all my muscles, they're all fired up, right? Everything's kicking on here. No hanging out. Take a couple breaths here. Then walk the knees back just a couple inches. Keep the ball of the foot on the floor. Reach the heel back. Now we're extending out of the hip. Yep. Just keep the belly working to the spine. Keep the head and the throat sliding back. And then as you reach out of the back heel, reach forward out of the crown of the head. Even breathe and expand side to side. And then exhale, lower that leg down. Take the left leg back, ball of the foot on the floor. Now make sure you're not hyperextending the knee, so there's a little micro bend. Keep sweeping the inner heel out so the heel's pointing straight up to the sky. It's going to try to do this and fall in. So you're going to sweep that inner heel out. My belly's the spine because this wants to happen. So I'm here, whoosh, locked in. Exhale, lower. Walk the knees back in, all fours. Tiger pose. So you're going to inhale, take the hip up, the heel up to the sky. Exhale, you're going to bring the knee towards your chin or towards your chest. Inhale is going to take that heel to the sky. Here is the hip in extension, the spine in extension. And then as the knee comes to the chin or the chest, flexion. Let's do 5. This is my last one. After your 5th, when you lower your right knee, just make sure it's hips width apart because the common tendency is we're going to put it to the midline. We want the hip to start stabilizing itself, so make sure it's hips width apart. And then when you're ready, left heel to the sky. Now this is going to try to happen, so you got to keep sweeping that inner heel out as you take the heel to the sky. Now here we're working that spine again. Nice and slow, linking the breath to movement. So that means if it's 2 seconds to inhale, how long it's going to take for that heel to reach to the sky. The exhale, 2 seconds to take it towards the chin or the chest. Now this is my last one. Whenever you're finished with your 5 on side 2, we'll meet back in that all fours. Belly's in, shutters are closed, head and throat is back. So lots of work already in that upper back. Then when you're ready, step back to plank. Your shoulders should be on top of your wrist crease, and I'm reaching out of my heels. So see, I'm in dorsiflexion. This is where I'm going to go when I go to chaturanga. So I'm going to be here right now, and I don't ever want to be here, right? That's losing, that's plantar flexion. I want to be here, dorsa. Now lift the hips, come to downward dog. That'll be your distance for your downward dog. First one, we can bend the knees. Now, we worked on this part before when we weren't so weight-bearing. A little more challenging now, of course, because we're a little more weight-bearing. But you're going to claw the floor and you're going to hug your hands in. Then you're going to lift the forearms up and the inner biceps up. And what that's going to do is it's going to start to feel like your shoulders move out away from your neck, like you're getting open in your chest, broad in that upper back. You're feeling these side bodies are long from your hips to your armpits. Now, slide the head and the throat back. So your cheeks are in line or your ears are in line with your biceps. Now push your hands down and forward, take your chest back towards your toenails. There's that work again between the shoulder blades from your head to your butt. Then in the legs, pull your heels to your butt to your heels. Then start to reach from the hip down the back of the legs and out of the bottom of the heels as you extend the pose down. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. So now we'll move a little dynamically. Inhale, drive forward to that plank. And back. See, I don't want this to happen. This. Why would I be reinforcing this? I'm never going to here, right? I just want to drive forward into the plank. We're going to do 5. I kind of held that so y'all could see. So when on your 5th, I'm coming up on mine, lower chaturanga, inhale, cobra, baby cobra, take 3 nice breaths. Charge the legs up. Take your shoulders back like you're squeezing a marshmallow between your shoulder blades and down away from your ears. After your 3 breaths, lower the chest, push up through plank, back to downward dog. If you want to keep your knees bent in downward dog. If you want to straighten them, straighten them. But we're playing with a little extension today, right? So maybe that challenge is to try to reach out of the bottom of the heels a little bit. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take 3 nice breaths. Stay as low as you want. Come up as high as you want. but shoulders are back and down, and then back of the heart goes forward through the front of the chest. When you're ready, back to chaturanga or lower your chest, push up through plank, back to downward dog. Look forward, bend your knees, step or jump between your hands, swing your arms up, big reach. Draw that belly, lengthen those sit bones down. Maybe curl back a little bit. Let the back of the heart lift up through the front of the chest. Keep the sacrum back so hips don't come forward. Go up on an inhale and then exhale, curl into it a little bit. Inhale, peel up whatever angle you're on. Go a little deeper in the pose. One more time. Next inhale, come up. Exhale, right into your elbow. Keep the hips back. Release, inhale the arms up, swap. Yeah, these look awesome. Mountain pose, right, throughout the whole. So everything's hugging in. If I tried to move you, you're going nowhere, right? Everything's solid. Then we're just adding this little lat, tricep, chest. It's a big junction. A lot of shit meets right here. Exhale, release. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step the right leg back, lunge. High in your fingertips are your blocks. Find your space. Front knee stacks right up on top of the ankle, and it's in line with your second toe, the one next to your big toe. Back heel keeps sweeping it out. It's going to try to fall in. When you sweep it out, it actually brings that right hip forward. We want that. Hug all the way into the inside of this left thigh. Keep pulling your feet together. So front heel back, back toes forward. Hug the shins into the midline. Keep pushing down. Pull that pelvic floor up. Pull the belly in. Pull your shutters closed, right? Chakras coming up. Heart's reaching out. Throat's back. Gaze is out in front of the mat. Reach through the crown of the head. Inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana, one crescent. Now here, right, we're in the legs, low body, front of the thigh here. Now let's get into that upper back. So pull the belly in and pull the shutters closed. When you pull the shutters closed, you get this lift right here. Now reach up through your thumbs. Now curl back in the pose. Reach out of that back heel, forward out of that front knee, up and out of the crown of the head, up and out of the fingertips. One more breath. Exhale the hands down, step forward. So you got to push from that right foot to your left heel. Keep the knees bent, reach the left leg back. Extending out of that hip, so you want to reach out of the heel. Make sure your hips width apart, because we sometimes go a little too wide or a little too narrow. Then set it up. That front knee's on top of the ankle, and it's right in line with that second toe, the one next to your big toe. If your front knee is collapsing in like this, we're going to widen it out. If it's blowing out the side, we're going to hug it in. Square that left hip forward. Keep working those legs so you're lifting the top of the left one up, but you're softening the top of the right one down. Then work those chakras all the way from the root, all the way up through the crown. And when you're ready, inhale, come up, Vira one crescent. Feel all that work happening in that back? That's where we need to be. But the trick is to keep the belly and the shutters closed, because that's going to lift the spine. Now we can back bend into it. Keep going up and back, not back and down. Soften your face, spread your fingers. One more breath. Exhale the hands down, step forward. Swing the arms up, big reach. Maybe curl back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands in front. Nice, y'all. Right arm in front, plug it in, take it across the body. Tadasana in the rest of the body, but just a little shoulder opener here. So what's that mean? Fired up, right? Everything's hugging in. And just come across the midline. Don't let this happen where the head of the arm bone pulls out of the socket. Keep it rooted. Exhale, release. Swap side 2. Plug in, take it across the body. Yeah, keep those hips back. Keep working sacrum back. Head and throat back. Yep. Even here, spread your fingers, right? There's that flare. I just made that comment to Eric. Anybody ever see pictures of Eric? There's one downstairs. Whenever he's in a pose, like if his arms are overhead, it's like full on like expression out of those fingers, right? It's like always his thing. All right, exhale, release. Inhale the arms up. That's that little bit of extent. That's the flare, right? That's that little polish. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Okay, so there's the work in the spine. You feel when you look forward, you're still in a hinge at your hip crease. That's human movement. That's called a hip hinge. You want to try to now keep working that upper back as you go deeper in the fold. And you're going to feel that the fold's happening at your hip crease. We want that. Then it's going to get to a point where you can't go any deeper at the hip crease. Then go ahead and let that upper back go. That's a true forward fold, right? You're hinging at your hip as far as it can go, and then you're going into the pose a little bit deeper. Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up, big reach. Maybe curl back into it. Yeah, we're taking that spine through extension and through flexion. That's a good way to get those muscles to release. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands in front. Right leg forward, left leg back. Triangle. Then my pose of the season here. Standing pose. So it's pretty long, right? If you bend into your lead knee, you could come to your like warrior 2 leg or your Parsva leg, and that'll give you an idea of how to get that distance for triangle. Now, this always happens. You got to take this left thigh back. Yep. Take the arms out. Get tall here. So breathe like rooting down into your feet, but breathing up above your waist. When you're ready, hinge at the right side of the hip. Bring the hand down to the block or the floor. Inside the foot will be a little more accessible. Behind the foot will be a little more challenging. Keep pushing down into the big toe mound of that right foot, because we try to roll to the pinky toe side, so keep pushing into the big toe. Keep opening up that right side body. Maybe start to look up. And now breathe. Yep, settle into that pose, even as challenging as it is. And then push into that front foot. Inhale, come up. Bend into the lead knee, warrior 2. Palm goes up, slide back into that reverse warrior. Front knee goes right on top of the ankle. So bend forward, and it keeps widening out to track that second toe. Inhale, come back up to that warrior 2. Bring the elbow to the thigh. Sweep the bicep up along the cheek. If you want to go hand down to the block or the floor, go for it. If you want to stay to the knee, awesome. Wherever you need to be. Pull the belly in, pull the shutters closed. As you're going right sit bone to right heel, the knee starts to widen out. As you take the top of the ribs back and the bottom of the ribs forward, you start to rotate open. One more breath. Push into that front heel. Inhale, come up tall. Push that front leg straight. Step forward. We came from warrior 2 the other day, right? So now we come from triangle. Awesome. We'll swap side 2. So make sure you're on the balance beam. The balance beam means your front heel is in line with your back arch. See, if I'm here, I'm not on the balance beam. If I'm here, I'm not on the balance beam. I got to get that set up. And then if you need to measure, you bend into it a little bit. Take that right hip back. Breathe and get tall. When you're ready, hinge at the left side of the hip. Bring the hand down to the block or the floor. You're so far away. You're lucky I'm on camera today. Keep that thigh back. Keep opening up that left side body. Start to rotate open. Notice how that thigh wants to pop forward. On the right side, don't let it. One more breath. Push into that front foot. Come up tall. Yup, then we bend into that lead knee, warrior two. Then we take the palm up. Come back into that reverse warrior. Nice and slow here. Right, my breath is 2 seconds or 3 seconds long. That's how long I got to curl back into it. Take that nice big breath on the left side of the ribs. Breathe to where the ceiling and the wall meet at the front of the room and curl back on it a little bit more. And then inhale, come back up to that warrior two. Control the elbow to the thigh. Sweep the bicep up. This is one of those hard moments. Floor. Your body's probably shaking a little bit. It should be. We've been under tension for a while now. But that's the game. Happens to be one of those hard moments. Maybe rotate open. Even in that hard moment, stay with the breath and soften your face. Yeah. One more. Then push into that front heel. Come up tall. Straighten the front leg. Step forward. Nice, y'all. Thumbs come to heart center. Let the thumbs flick the heart out. Close the eyes. Take a couple breaths. Full breath in, complete breath out. Mountain pose, but the softening here is the eyes closed. And gently open the eyes, release the hands. Take the hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, take your feet. You could be shoulders width, you could be mats width for a little more space. Now take a breath here. Breathe up in the ribs first. Now exhale, take the shoulders back. Yep. Breathe again, inhale, charge those legs. Exhale, fold, take the arms up overhead. Inhale, come back up. So we'll play it a little more dynamic here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up. Now stay with your breath. If anybody wants to turn that thermostat, you got to slide your finger down. Yeah, slide it down to the right. No. Just slide, yep. One more. Oh, now it's messing with us. One more. And as you come up, exhale, release. Wiggle the heel toe back in. It's all on the right side. Sit back, gentle, gentle. You're like me over there. Jesse's always like, you're mashing, you're button mashing. I'm like, it just won't work, right? Okay, got it back. Curl back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold.
It starts in 28 seconds. So.
You turn it to 70. You go to 70.
I'm at 72.
Okay. Yeah, let's go for it. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog. It might just need to catch up. Yeah, because it just shut off. So sometimes the compressor needs to go through its cycle a little bit. Work through one vinyasa. Exhale, lower your knees, sit back on your heels. Grab a drink, wipe your face. Child's pose if you want. Whatever's comfortable. If you want to go Yana Mudra from Vajrasana, you just take your pointer finger and your thumb to touch. You let the heel of your hand rest here at the crease of your hip, and you let your fingers drape over your thigh like this. And you can close your eyes. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down, all fours. We'll meet all fours whenever you're ready. While we're here, turn your hands out. We'll get that little forearm, bicep, pec stretch here. Belly to spine. Shutters closed. Because what wants to happen? Your belly wants to fall to the floor, right? Don't let it. And then as you push your hands down, you get that nice stretch coming right out of the wrist, up the forearm, up that bicep, a little bit in the pec. You're in external rotation, so you're definitely getting a little bit of something there, maybe right at the attachment, you might feel that. Inhale, unwind, sit back on your heels, that little spin. Inhale, come up, exhale, hands down, one more time. So keep that belly to the spine, keep those shutters closed, keep the head and the throat sliding back. And then inhale, unwind, sit back on your heels. Come to hero's pose. The space between our knees will all be different, but the outsides of our shins will all be parallel with the sides of our mats. Flick your toenails into the floor, hug your shins in so you start to feel like you're getting light. Take your right hand behind you, left hand to the outside of your thigh, sit up tall, take that twist to the right. Keep that engagement through the legs. Keep that lift up through the spine so you're feeling that belly working in and the shutters closing and you're lifting up through the crown of the head. If you have any neck issues in your twist, just keep your head in line with your chest. If you want to peek over that right shoulder, you certainly can. Whatever feels good to you. Inhale, come back to center. Swap. So left hand behind, right hand to the outside of the thigh. Root into the feet and the sit bones. Sit up tall. Yep. Then take that twist. Nice and tall through the twist. So we're making the space and then we're moving into it. Inhale, come back to center. Next inhale, come up. Just open up the knees and the hips. Then lower that knee down, swap side two. Belly to spine. See how easy that belly wants to let go? And y'all know me, I'll say the same thing 50 times, right? I do not care. If that's what the body is asking for the cue, then that's what we're gonna go for. Exhale, lower. And that's a common one, right? You can just about, so here's the idea. Your hip flexors are always pulling this way. They're pulling the front of your pelvis this way. That's anterior pelvic tilt, right? So you're trying to bring your belly button in to try to neutralize that. But your belly's never gonna win over these hip flexors, right? It will never win, it's just not strong enough. These are much stronger. So you gotta get these working, right? Especially your hamstrings that are attached, these are your ischiotubrosis, your sit bones, they're attached here. So when your hamstrings are properly engaged, they're gonna pull the sit bones down. Now when they pull the sit bones down, what does that do? It neutralizes the pull from the front. Right? Now when my belly button draws in, I could get something done. But if this is just pulling and these are not active, we're just kind of fighting an uphill battle, right? That we're never going to get there. So you want to keep your hamstrings engaged. How do you engage your hamstrings? What's the cue I always give? I always say pull something to something, right? Pull your heels to your butt and your butt to your heels, right? What does that mean? It means this. It means like I'm pulling this way. Like I'm trying to do this action without doing that action, right? Like without moving it. But see now you can see the backs of my legs when I do that are all engaged. That's what I want. Make sense? Then my body's in a better position. Then I can start kicking things on to help hold space. Come on, let's give it a try. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down, all fours. Take a breath. Step back to plank. Downward dog. Now bend your knees a little bit and then have that action of pulling your heels to your butt and your butt to your heels. Now try to hold that. It's going to get more challenging when you try to straighten your legs because now you're doing like an eccentric engagement. You're trying to engage them while they're lengthening. You hear me talk about that all the time. That's a challenge. That's basically what I do in Soma downstairs all day, right? How do we keep muscles engaged the whole time?
Now hold that, try to work through one vinyasa. See if the legs are holding that fire the whole time, or where's the spots that they want to let go. Nice, y'all. Reach the right leg straight back, step it through, pigeon. So right knee's nice and wide to the right edge of your mat. Left knee's in line with your hip. If you have any hip or knee issues, you can always do supine pigeon on your back. So you could be like this. Yep, this would be an option here, okay, for anyone. Active from the foot all the way up the leg into the hip. So you want to like push on a gas pedal here. Hug the knees in. Like at any point, you could take your hands off the floor and hold yourself up. That's how much power's in your legs. Now breathe up above the waist. Whenever we do upper backs or back bends, I always show you all this one. So I like to take my hands out to my side. This is how I do it all the time. And now I go this way. So I make like pillars out of my arms. And what that does is I feel like there's a settling between my shoulder blades. Like I'm working towards a neutral extension here in my spine. And then I'm sliding my throat back so my chin doesn't fall to the floor. And then as I lower down, I let my chest come first. And I got that nice opener in the back of the hip and down the back of the leg. But at the same time, I'm activating that upper back that I know is deficient, right, throughout the day. Now, if you like to have your forearms on the ground like this, awesome. If you're trying this one, right, same awesome. Couple more breaths. And then inhale, come up, place the hands, take a breath, lift the hips, unwind that right leg. Come forward, right knee to left elbow, back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Come forward, knee to opposite elbow, back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. When you come through this time, kick the leg out to the side, take the hips up and back. There's that TFL IT band. So see, I got to keep pushing back towards downward dog. You don't want to go to plank yet. We're going to work the arm balance, right, the fallen star, but that's still in another couple breaths. Now drag the leg back to the right, and there's that big opener on the outside of the leg. Now look forward, come forward, shoulders to wrist crease. Now you're going to spin to the inside of that left foot. You're going to draw the left elbow back. You're going to reach up to the sky. Keep spinning the right bicep towards the front of the room, so you're rooting into your shoulder. Keep your left ear reaching up to the sky, maybe look up. Soften your face, spread your fingers. Inhale, unwind, place the hand down. Unwind that right leg, reach it back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Exhale, lower it down, take a breath. Reach the left leg straight back, step it through, pigeon. Nice, y'all. I showed y'all that trick. Like sometimes you can wait to do it, but sometimes even when you first start the pose, it's always going to be easier to go back. So rather than grabbing your shin and trying to move it this way, hug in and then pick your knee up a little bit and move it back. Then hug in again, pick your back knee up and move it back a little bit. And if you move back, that'll be a lot easier to control. Then if you want, you're hugging everything in and you're going for that fold. If you want to stay up here in the prep and this feels great, awesome. If you want to go to the fold, remember, we're not collapsing, we're folding. Those are two totally different definitions. A collapse has no control, right? We're here folding into the pose, full control. We get that control by staying with our breath. We set that foundation. We are engaged, right? And then we express where the pose asks us to go. We don't force things, right? Because then that's going to create a misalignment. And yoga is meant to be a conscious exercise, right? Like you're really focusing on what the movement's doing, what's the action, and what is it creating? Is it bringing something better to me? If not, we don't want it, right? We want to move on to something better. A couple more breaths, all here in this opener. Back of the hip, down the back of the leg here. And then inhale, come up, place the hands. Take a breath, right? No rush. Then lift the hips. Reach that left leg back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Now as you come forward, take the left knee towards the right elbow. So we're doing a little dynamic like a core twist. Take it back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Come forward, take that knee to the opposite elbow. Back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. And then this time as you come forward, you're going to kick the leg out to the side. And you're going to push back like you're taking your chest back towards your toenails on that right foot. That's the cue, push back towards downward dog, right? Hips to where the ceiling and the wall meet at the back of the room. Now drag the leg back towards the left. Now if you're not a TFL, IT band type person, you feel this a little bit more from like the outside of your knee to your ankle bone. And then here we go. Spin to the inside of the right foot. Draw the right elbow back. See this left arm? I'm turning my bicep this way, forward. That's going to root into the upper back. Now I could even start to reach up. Now you hear my voice, right? I'm not panicking. I'm here in this moment. Is this moment hard? It is. But is my face still soft? Yeah. Am I looking up? Yeah. Inhale, unwind, place the hand down. Unwind that leg, reach it back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Exhale, lower it down. Take the feet wide, walk the hands back, come to Malasana, squat pose. Hug in first on your elbows. Now push your elbows away. There's the stretch. Now feel the upper back wants, the energy is rounding the upper back. So you're just going to balance it out. You're going to drive your elbows down and you're going to work your upper back a little bit. There, now we just balance that energy. Instead of flexion being real dominant and heavy here, we neutralize it with just a little bit of extension. Now you can stay here if you want. If you want to go into crow, you're going to lift the hips up. You're going to place the hands down. Your knees are going to be on the backs of your arms or on the outsides, depending on where you're stacking them. If they're on the outside of the arms, like mine are, I got to adduct more. Now I'm going to walk my feet together so my big toe mounds are touching each other. I'm going to look forward and then start to bring the weight forward. And I'm going to look at my fingertips and notice they're turning white as I'm squeezing, I'm clawing into the floor. Then as I float forward and the weight shifts, my feet are going to get light and they're going to start to float off the floor. I'm going to pull my heels to my butt. There's those hamstrings again. And I'm going to push my hands down. And then like I always do, I'm going to soften my face. And I'm going to be chilling in that moment. Crow. Nice, y'all. Awesome poses. All right. Grab your mats, find a spot on the wall. We'll go upside down. Use it all. Door, come to the front. There'll be plenty of space, but use it all up. If you need me to move anything, I will. If you're at home and you don't have the wall to kick up on, you can always lay on your back. And then you can bend your knees, take your one heel to the sky, interlace your hands behind your thigh, and then you can extend the heel up. Then take a bunch of breaths, and you can swap into side two. If you are at home or in the studio, it's not your day to invert, you can always go legs up the wall or do a pose that feels good to you, okay? Whatever's comfortable. I'm gonna talk everyone through downward dog and L pose, but if you want to do your handstands, your headstands, your tripods, your pincha mayas, we did shoulders today, so pincha will be accessible. Anything you want to mess with. We're doing back bends. You could do hollow back, okay, if you want to play with hollow back. So a couple different options. If you're going to stick with me, let's go all fours, hands and knees, feet are touching the wall. If you're going to go on your own, whenever you're ready, okay, go for it. So with me, all fours, hands and knees, take a couple breaths. Build up that low mountain like we did before, nice and solid. When you're ready, lift the knees and the hips. If you're comfortable, step one foot up the wall. If you're still comfortable, step the second foot up the wall. Now with your knees bent is going to be downward dog inverted, and with your legs straight is going to be L pose. You can play between the two. You can go from the knees bent to the legs straight and back and forth.
Looks like someone wasn't doing their job.
It's funny because it's a delay.
It's got about a minute delay.
Yeah.
I was just checking to make sure I wasn't on it.
Here we go. Here we go. All right, home crew, we're back here. Looks like we're coming back. That was a pretty good guess. Wasn't too bad. Give yourself about another minute, play around. So then you can build, right? So you're coming from your crow, okay? Then I'm gonna lower down. I'm gonna bring my head down to the mat. Now I'm gonna work my tripod from my crow. Then I'm gonna work my way back down. I'm moving a little quick, right? Just for the sake of it, for sake of time, so y'all could see. Now I gotta look forward when I come up, because I gotta bring that weight forward. Then maybe chaturanga. Flying bakasana. And you go right back in. And you just keep working. Slow when you go up, exhale. Keep hugging your elbows in. Yeah. And then keep plugging your shoulders back like to the, yeah. Feel now the upper body's solid. Now that foundation's solid. Reach out of your heels. Reach out of your heels. Pull your toes. Yes. Yeah, that'll help extend the hip more. Yeah. All right. We about inverted out. Let's get into some back bends. So let's meet on our backs. I'll keep it classic so y'all can play with a couple of different things. And then there'll just be some options that you can mess with in your back bends, okay? So let's meet, take your time, wherever you're at, and then we'll meet on our backs. Knees are bent, feet are on the floor. So when I mean my deepest back bend, all right, like I really need a good, deep back bend, it is not wheel. It's supported bridge. That's gonna give me the deepest back bend, right? Back bends are a little challenging for me. So the support lets me get even deeper, right? Not the pose that's harder. Is wheel physically more demanding? Yes. But does it give me, in my practice, a deeper back bend? It doesn't. It just makes me have to work a little bit on the strength side a little harder, right? But now that's me. What do you have to bring into your practice? So if supported bridge is it, you take the block and here's your sacrum. That's where we want to put the block. So where my crack is too low, where my lumbar spine is too high, it's this solid part right here. Now, most of us are going to go low and medium, but I know some of you that go high on the block, okay? So here would be the visual. I'd set myself up here. I take the block underneath my sacrum, so it's like this. Now, this is giving me that nice, solid ability to now do this, to take my shoulders under real deep, belly in, right, and really work my back bend this way. So if that helps you, go for it. If bridge or wheel is going to be your deal, I'm going to talk you through those two. All right? So let's start laying back. Knees are bent. Feet are on the floor. Feet are hips width apart. They're like train tracks, so your feet are straight forward, and you can feel your heels with your fingertips. That way you know your knees are on top of your ankles. That's what you do when you feel your heels. Now, if you're working supported bridge, you're already there, or you're setting yourself up. Everyone else is going to have their sacrum flat on the floor. So if you took your hand right now and you tried to put it underneath your sacrum, you cannot get it there. It won't go. If you try to get it underneath your lumbar spine, you can just squeeze your fingers underneath there. Because those are two different places, right? So they're going to be a little bit different. Now here we go. Charge the legs up. For more support, you're going to robot your arms. So fingertips go to the sky with the elbows bent. Charge the legs, charge the core, head and shoulders back. Slowly lift the hips. Take the shoulders under a little bit. Some of you might want to interlace your fingers behind your back. Go for it. We did that shape today. Keep the power in the legs. Keep the inner thighs working in and down. Take the shoulders under a little bit deeper. Now push your feet down and forward.
You're going to feel the back bend really start to happen under the shoulder blades. Keep your belly button working to your spine and your sit bones working towards the backs of your knees. That's going to clear the lumbar. One more breath. Now, if the hands are clasped, release them. Slowly lower down. See if you get that sacrum to land flat as you come down. Feet wide, knees touch. Hands to cactus or field goal. So a little shoulder opener here. Now on this second one, I'll talk you first into bridge and then into wheel, and then you can play wherever you want. So from here, inhale, open the knees, reset the feet, bring the arms back along the sides, set everything up again. You can feel your heels, feet are like train tracks, sacrum's flat, head and shoulders are back. When you're ready, start to engage those legs, start to fire up the core, slowly lift the hips. If you're going to interlace your hands behind your back, if your left pinky was underneath last time, the right pinky is this time. If you're going to go into wheel, place your hands wide to the edge of your mat, turn your hands out. You're going to plug those shoulders back. Keep working those inner thighs in and down. Belly to spine, shutters are closed, sit bones to the backs of the knees. One more breath. Stay engaged as you lower down. Take the feet wide. Let the knees touch. Hands to cactus or field goal. And then open the knees, windshield wiper side to side. Belly to spine. In twists, when we lose the belly, it just lets the ribs kind of manipulate. And we're looking to rotate the spine in a twist. Next time, when you balance yourself out, come to neutral. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Make a couple small circles. When you balance both sides out, come to neutral. Keep your knees bent, lower your feet to the floor. Inhale your right leg up, cross it over your left, hips to the right, knees settle to the left. Belly in, shutters closed, root that right shoulder into the mat. Remember, if you have any neck issues, let your head stay in line with your chest. If you want to start to look to the But don't lose that belly. Don't lose those shutters. Keep tall here, breathing up out of the waist, and then rotate through the spine. You use your spinal erectors and your obliques to twist. That's what we want to twist with. Inhale, come back to center. Instead of those ribs just manipulating, unwind the leg. Reach the left leg up. Cross it over the right, nice and tight. When your hips scooch to the left, it's just going to keep you on your mat. And then the knees go to the right. It's not like the scooch is part of the pose. That's just to help stay on the mat. And then belly to spine, shutters are closed. So we get that nice rotation, a true twist. Keep breathing up out of the waist like you're getting tall here. That'll make the spine even longer. It'll make the twist even better. Couple more breaths. And then inhale, come back to center, unwind the legs as you scooch back to the center. Take those legs out straight, reach the arms up over. Spread the fingers, spread the toes. Reach. And hug those knees. Take those knees wide. Happy baby. You can rock side to side. You can reach one leg out or both legs out. Whatever feels good. But keep those knees nice and wide here so that they're wider than your shoulders. Nice opener, back of the hip, inside the thigh. Nice neutral spine here. And then when you're ready, inhale the knees to center. Exhale the legs out straight. We'll take Shavasana. Beautiful practice, crew. Feel free to add or remove layers or props. You could do things like set up a heart bench. You could take the blanket underneath the thighs. If you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, this here, you want the blocks to be on the outsides of your thighs. I'm going to talk everyone through laying flat, but whatever variation feels good to you. Here as the legs reach out, let the feet gently roll open. Let the arms come along the sides. And as the shoulders settle back, let the palms turn open to the sky. Let your head rest back. Maybe let your eyes close. Allow the tongue to soften from the roof of the mouth as we let the body get heavy. The body gets heavy, the mind gets light. It softens as it turns back to the breath. Each exhale clearing and removing, making space. So the inhale can welcome something new. Draw in the change. And the heart opens. So it gets ready to move the yoga from the mat to the yoga of life. Your yoga's in everything that you do. Every movement, every action. It's in the way we react to each other. The energies that we put out, the energies we're willing to receive. It's in the change that we make. Begin here to draw in a deeper breath. Feeling the breath wash over the body. Fingers, the toes, crown of the head through the heart as you reawaken that better version of yourself. The fingers and the toes wiggle, let the arms and the legs stretch or reach, move in a way that feels to the right side. Use your hands to push yourself up. We'll meet together with our eyes closed and our hands in front of our hearts in Anjali Mudra. Place we started, the place we practice, and the place we finish. How we always move the yoga from the mat to the steps of our life. With that full, open, empowered, strengthened heart. One more time together to seal in our practice. Together the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Beautiful. As we softly bow our head to our hearts, our heads to each other's hearts. For all of that hard work and that determination, that challenge, the love and the support you always give each other, it's to you that I bow. Namaste. Thanks, crew. Good to see everyone. Super fun as always. You know, if you need me, grab me before you go. Something feels weird in your body,
Home crew, hit me up. Maybe I'll see some of y'all tomorrow or Saturday. If not, I'll see you soon. Thanks, crew. For the holiday week, I won't be here on, well, obviously Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Trina will be here, so you'll be in good hands. I'll be chilling down the beach. Actually, I'll be at home. Saturday. After class, after my private on Saturday, yeah. Yep, I've got I've already brought multiple things. I've already done one truck, and I bring stuff down every time. So this truck will be like our bed, the couch, my chair, dining room table, all that stuff. So yeah, it's funny. We moved some stuff the other day. I had to go. Jesse's mom gave us this little table and chair thing. I had to get her bed for her, so I could bring down. So we're going and I'm moving, and we get towards the end, and Jesse's like, and her mom's like, "That's it? You guys are done already?" Jesse's like, "You never worked with Larry before, have you?" It's like, he's all business. There's no playing around when it comes to working Larry. Dude, that's me. I jog and shit. Like, I'll be running to grab it. It turns into an exercise, man. Like, I just work it. Yeah, she's like, "Yeah, you've never worked with Larry."